So hi everyone, I'm Tomislav Kremzin from Infobip, and with me today is Dilyana Radulova. Dilyana, hi, and please introduce yourself for our crowd.
Hello guys, so my name is Dilyana Radulova. Nobody actually calls me that. Everybody just calls me Didi because it's much nicer and simpler. A bit more about me. So I have been working with different CRM systems for the past 6 years. At the moment, I work as a customer engagement consultant with Incremental Group, and we are based in Glasgow, which has been extremely sunny these days for a change. In the past 1 year, I've been specializing mostly in Dynamics 365 marketing. When I am not working, I try to do a lot of community work. So I try to get very involved with the Microsoft, the Dynamics 365 community out there. I speak at a lot of events. I do a lot of things on social media. So if you want to get in touch, I'm sure the details will be on the screen underneath afterwards.
So I just want to get right down into starting the conversation about communication. So the phone was invented in the 1870s, and since then communication, including business communication, has changed quite a bit. What are your thoughts on the overall influence that communication plays in today's business space, especially when it comes to crises of global magnitudes like the one we're all facing right now?
Yeah, I think communication is super important. I don't think we need to have a crisis to realize how important communication is.
True.
I think we all know that anyway. But now it's more important than ever because we need to have that speedy, real-time communication to keep people informed and these days to keep them alive in some cases.
Yes.
So I think that helps to understand how important communication is.
One demographic that is very choosy about this sort of thing are millennials, and they're very sensitive to this, and they're probably one of the more challenging generations to communicate with. They work differently, they play differently, they consume everything differently, and the way they behave and the way their preferences are, that sets trends in the way that other generations think and begin to consume products, services, and communication.
Millennials, super important. And I'm not saying that only because I'm one of them. But I think I saw some stats recently that last year the millennials outnumbered in the US the baby boom generation, which means it's quite a few of us out there. So to answer your question, are they important? We really cannot ignore them anymore because there's so many.
Yeah.
So millennials are absolutely crucial to every business, sometimes directly, sometimes by proxy. When you say they're choosy, I think I agree, but I think that's a really good thing.
Now, I'm not sure I'd really say choosy. I'd say that they have a certain level of expectations when it comes to communicating, especially with businesses.
And I think that's amazing. I think that's exactly the push that the businesses need to go into the right direction, because I firmly believe that your customers will tell you what they want and what the right thing is if you just listen to them and ask. And I think millennials are very good at making themselves heard. So I think it's just a matter of adjusting our business to reflect the way that works for them. So, for example, I think one of the biggest things for millennials, I would say, is just businesses that make money are not good enough anymore. I think one of the biggest things with millennials is they need to see the business as supporting a cause that they believe in. So I think that's probably one of the easiest ways for a business to take millennials on the journey with them, just by engaging in something that's important and meaningful for the community in general.
What are your thoughts on omnichannel communication, the benefits, and what are some best practices for brands to implement omnichannel?
Is it important? Absolutely crucial. Omnichannel has never been more important than it is just now because, as we all know, consumers, customers, all of us, just people, we are so spoiled for choice. There's so many different things talking to us through all of the different channels. So I think that only makes it's a great opportunity for the business, for every business, to talk to us through each one of those channels. But it just means that it presents them with the challenge to pick the right channel to deliver the right message. Biggest differentiator factor and the thing that's most important around omnichannel is it's not just a matter of putting as many channels in your customer journey as possible. And it really doesn't mean bombarding your customers with the same message on their phone and then on WhatsApp and on Viber and then send them an email to say the same thing. I think omnichannel is all about giving them a good customer experience and a consistent one throughout all of the channels. But I think having more channels, again, means it's even more important for the content that you deliver to them to be personal and to be targeted, because the more content you send, it means there is more chance to annoy your customers, and
Yes.
that's absolutely not what you want to do.
At
So
all,
that
no.
means exactly personalization and targeted content becomes more and more important the deeper you go into your omni-channel experience.
According to State of Personalization, their report found that only 22% of consumers are satisfied with the level of personalization that they receive. And a Deloitte study found that a prerequisite for personalization is good segmentation. Now, obviously, when we stack these two bits of data next to each other, businesses aren't really doing good in terms of segmentation. What are some of the challenges that come with creating a good personalized customer experience?
So the first thing that you cannot get away with if you want personalized content, and this is important for whatever platform you choose, because we'll talk about the platform that I have been spending most of my time with, Dynamics 365 Marketing, afterwards. But regardless of the platform, you just need to understand your data first, because, and this is independent of the platform or the marketing software that you choose to use. If you don't know your data, it means you can have the best insights, but if you don't know how to turn that into a meaningful, actionable actions for you to take, it just is not going to work. So knowing your data is probably top one thing, I would say, on your journey to having to give that personalized experience to your customers. Once you know your data, then probably the second biggest one is to choose the right software and the right platform to implement that experience on.
One way that a lot of companies can really level the playing field is by automating a lot of this communication. And one of the more popular ways of doing this, especially these days, is by using chatbots. So I'm interested in hearing your opinion on chatbots in general. What are some best practices and your own experiences with this?
I think what they're really good at is to give you, so for example, for repetitive situations where, for example, you as a customer, you don't want to talk to anybody, you just want to get more information for something. You don't necessarily want to deal with the faff of speaking to somebody on the phone. Chatbots are great for that, because all you need to do is you can ask your question, then the chatbot picks up the buzzwords from that and sends you the answer, because another 2,000 people have asked the same thing earlier. So delivering content in situations that are very repetitive is a really good use case for chatbots. Another one is to send your query to the right place or to the right people, because what they're really good is, again, picking up a pattern. So just by asking you a few questions, they're really good and really quick at sending you and your query to the right people and the best placed people to deal with them.
Having a deep understanding of customer needs means understanding them as a person, as customer personas, and understanding how to really guide them through their journey. How difficult is it to map that? And what are some of your experiences in that?
But again, it all ties down to knowing your customers. And again, something that Dynamics 365 marketing is really good at is it gives you insights after each of your campaigns. So it gives you a lot of actionable points and a lot of lessons learned of what worked well and what didn't. So I think having that is really important. Having that knowledge is really important to feed into your next campaign, because the expectations, I don't think they change that quickly. So if you're going to run 10 campaigns this year, the best way to make them better is just learn from the one before.
What are some of the great benefits of Microsoft Dynamics? Why should companies use it? And what are some of the companies in terms of industry and vertical use cases that you come across in most often?
Absolutely. So that's that's my topic. Dynamics 365 is massive. It's a few different products. It has a sales product, customer service product, and obviously my favorite, a marketing product. Probably one of my favorite things about it is the event management capability. So what's really good about it is it lets you manage the whole process of organizing your events end to end and all of the logistics that come with the event management. So if you as a business need to host an on-site event or a webinar or a hybrid between the two, Dynamics 365 Marketing can help you with the whole process. So another big bonus is that it's built on top of the what we call the Common Data Service, CDS. What that is, it's the database that sits behind all of those applications that I listed earlier. So if you as a business are already using Dynamics 365 for sales, to manage your lead to opportunity process, or the customer service product to handle all of your complaints, queues, then you already have that data about your customers, their complaints, what products they have, what service they're interested in your database, which is the Common Data Service. And the marketing application is built on top of that, which means it already has access to all of that information. And why that's really powerful is because it means you can use it for segmentation, you can use it for that personalized content that we spoke about. The third one would be the ability to run automated campaigns infused with some AI, because artificial intelligence is another big and hot topic recently.
I'm a bit of a communication channels geek. So my question is, what about some other channels? I'm thinking specifically SMS and Viber. What value can they provide to Dynamics users?
Massive, absolutely massive. I think mobile marketing it has a huge potential, and it would be so silly for marketers not to use it. So back to Dynamics 365 marketing, out of the box, it has great omnichannel experience. You can do social media, you can do email. What we couldn't do up until recently was we couldn't send any text messages or any Viber messages. So I think that's where we guys are very grateful to you guys and Infobip, because I think and for the, just as a background to the guys, so guys, what Infobip did was they developed a solution in partnership with Microsoft. So you download that from app stores, it gets installed onto your instance, and that gives you some extra functionality in your Dynamics 365 marketing environment. You get the ability to send a text message and a Viber message. So you can send a few messages as a test, or you can send them in an automated way as part of your campaign. And I think that's absolutely amazing. Again, we need to be careful what campaigns we use them in, because we want to deliver the right message through the right channel. But adding mobile marketing to the Dynamics 365 omnichannel experience, I think is a game changer.
Now, you mentioned we need to be very cautious about how it's used and when it's used. What are some of your favorite use cases for these?
Yeah, so back to event management, I think one of the best examples where having something on your phone is much better than having it in your inbox would be, imagine you're going to an event, you're going to a concert. So we can manage all of that on Dynamics 365 marketing. You register. What we could do is we could have a customer journey that once you register, it sends you your confirmation and your QR code to check in on your phone. And that just means you have that much easier experience when you go to that concert, because you don't have to go through all of your thousands of emails in your inbox and wonder if you have deleted it by mistake. So I think that's definitely one. Confirmations in general, I think, is something really handy to have on your phone, because it's very real time. It just, yes, that has been done. And then you as a consumer don't have to worry about it anymore. The other use case that we have seen works very well with mobile marketing is the scenario around the abandoned cart. And
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. It's so applicable. I just want to take a moment to make sure that all of the guys listening to us understand how applicable and broad that is, because we don't just mean shopping on eBay and having a product in your cart. It's applicable to every single business. We can build that into our campaign. And what we can do is we can give you a few days to finish what you were doing. And then we can send you a Viber message, which has that picture that you already clicked on a few times. So we know it will get your attention, and just use that as a reminder of, oh, we're in the middle of something. Maybe that's something you want to look at again when you have a bit more time. So I think it's great reminder for abandoned cart scenarios where customers haven't finished the process end to end.
I'm interested in your opinion on the future of communications, how it can evolve, and what can we expect to come next?
Future. I cannot be more excited about the future, actually. I think it's going to be absolutely great and amazing. And I think there are a lot of things to look forward to, both in the Dynamics 365 marketing future and in the mobile marketing future in general. I think something that we have already seen getting very big and very hot is payments on mobile. I think now that's becoming kind of the expectation. Another thing that I think we're going to be talking about more and more in the future is around video. And I think that's going to become more and more common in the mobile marketing as well. We can already see that happening with social media networks like TikTok. So I think another big one would be around communication in groups, because now the mobile marketing seems to be a bit more focused around one-to-one. So I think that communication in groups is going to be another big one. And yeah, artificial intelligence is probably the biggest one I want to finish up with, because it's so broad and so exciting just to think about.
As far as the future is concerned, the future of communicating with us is now. So somewhere on the screen here or there, we're going to have our contact information where you can reach us on social media. We'll add all those links. And Didi, I want to thank you for taking time to be with us today, sharing your very valuable insights. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having you back.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very much looking forward to being back.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.